Months of protests in Hong Kong take a major toll of the city's economy, with no end in sight. Hong Kong Chief Executive Carrie Lam says the situation is more severe compared to the 2003 SARS outbreak that paralyzed the city, or even the 2008 financial crisis. The private sector saw double-digit percentage drops in hotel occupancy rates. Group tour bookings from the short-haul market plunged up to 50%. Even Hong Kong's carrier Cathay Pacific was forced to cancel flights during a general strike that caused chaos in the city. The said airline also warns its staff they could be fired if they support or participate in the illegal protests. All flights in and out of Hong Kong are cancelled Monday, August 12, as thousands of pro-democracy protesters flood the city's airport to denounce police violence. These include several flights to and from the Philippines. The abrupt shutdown at one of the world's busiest hubs came as the Chinese government denounced some of the violent demonstrations as terrorism. Authorities say more than 5,000 protesters descended on Hong Kong airport, carrying placards and chanting slogans denouncing police violence. Over the weekend, police fired tear gas into the ranks of protesters gathered at subway stations in what they call hit-and-run rallies, where protesters split up into groups to spread quickly across the city and block roads. This is the 10th consecutive weekend protesters took to the streets in a movement which began over opposition to the controversial China extradition bill. The Philippine National Police or PNP says the entire organization is still bound by law in response to President Rodrigo Duterte's speech saying cops could ignore the anti-graft law when receiving gifts as long as donors gave these out of generosity.
Basta kung bigyan kayo, tanggapin ninyo. It is not bribery because it cannot be bribery because it is allowed by law. What I mean, if there is generosity in them, sabi ng anti-graft, you cannot accept gifts. Kalukuhan.
In a statement, it says, quote, "We always explain to the public that there is no need for them to give gifts as we are just doing our job and we get paid by the Filipino people through our salaries." But presidential spokesman Salvador Panelo defended the president, saying Duterte was referring to exceptions in the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, where unsolicited gifts or presents of small or insignificant value are allowed. President Rodrigo Duterte boosts his crackdown on illegal drugs by giving billions in government funds to the Philippine National Police or PNP.
Billion ang binitawan ko sa inyo just to acquire the intelligence capability and everything.
Duterte said in early August he would give the police more resources from an intelligence fund to stop the spread of cocaine. Last February, Duterte claimed he also distributed funds to police for operations and intelligence work. In the 2019 budget, the PNP was given 61 million pesos for intelligence activities. Confidential and intelligence funds are difficult to audit because spending these funds do not require producing receipts. Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea defended the budget allocation, saying it helps with running things. United States financier Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in jail Saturday, August 10, while awaiting trial on charges he trafficked underage girls for sex. Reports say he died of an apparent suicide, triggering outcry over how the high-profile detainee could die in custody. Epstein was supposedly under close watch after a recent suicide attempt. His death came one day after a New York court released a tranche of sealed legal documents providing new details of Epstein's alleged sex trafficking operation. Prosecutors say Epstein sexually exploited dozens of underage girls in Manhattan and Florida between 2002 and 2005. They say young women were paid hundreds of dollars in cash to massage him, perform sexual acts, and to recruit other girls. After less than a year of marriage, singer Miley Cyrus and actor Hemsworth announced their separation. Speculation about the separation began after Miley posted a photo on Instagram without her wedding ring during a vacation in Italy. Miley's representative says the two have decided this is what's best while they both focus on themselves and their careers. Liam and Miley met in 2009 on the set of the last song. They had an on and off relationship and got engaged in 2012. After a brief breakup, the two reconciled and got engaged again in 2016. Their secret wedding was held in December 2018.